What are these poses?
I'm just casually lounging.
I'm just leisuring.
I'm leisuring.
So we're engaged. And we're coming to you today. We're going to tell you the tale of how this happened.
Okay.
Not our whole love story, but just of the engagement. Because the love story would take like...
Too long.
I don't know if I'm allowed to upload videos that are over 2 hours.
For like 3 years, like just telling the story they've left at this
It's
point.
like How I Met Your Mother
Exactly,
level.
I was about to say, it's like the new How I Met Your Mother level, but they left.
How I Met Your Mother. Are there children?
I am your YouTube mother.
This is getting really weird really fast.
Making this decision.
So, the date was July 1st,
Yes.
2018.
Yep.
The idea was her birthday is late June, it's June 25th.
Yeah.
So I told her I want to get you the week after your birthday for your birthday surprise.
So he like called me like 3 weeks before and he was like, I'm reserving you for this weekend. I have to have you that full day Sunday booked.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
And she didn't know what was going on. And fun fact about Anna, she absolutely hates surprises. I'm talking, we'll get sick from stress, like vomiting sick from stress because of surprises.
Why
So
do you have to tell them that?
I just want to paint the picture for them.
They didn't need to know that.
They wanted to know, and they needed to know. But I'm like, trust me, this has got to be a surprise, because obviously it's a proposal. I was like, it's got to be a surprise, and it's going to be something you're going to love. It is not a bad surprise. It's a very, very
Somebody
good surprise.
got presumptuous thinking I was going to love
I was
it.
right, because what we did was we drove, and as we're driving, we actually somehow we get on proposals, because some of my friends are thinking about proposing, a lot of my friends are married.
Yep.
So we were talking about proposals, and I was like, crap, I've got to get her mind out of proposal mode, right?
Yeah.
Like, this is the last thing I want her thinking about right now.
Yeah, yeah.
So I tried to throw her off the scent. I'm like, I would propose to you at Christmas. So it'd be like your own personal Hallmark movie.
Yeah, yeah.
And
I
she
love
was like,
those.
oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah. It was like, oh, that's romantic. That's about what I would figure with our relationship. Like, I figured,
Sounds
Christmas.
right.
Sounds
Checks out.
Yeah.
And what was funny was I didn't tell any of her family. I didn't tell any of them. I was just like, the less I tell, the better. Except for
my dad. So he
dad,
did go
'cause
ask my
obviously I had
dad's
to
permission.
ask the blessing.
Yeah.
So I was so glad I didn't tell her family, because the next sentence out of her mouth was, oh, and by the way, if you were going to propose to me, I would know, because my sister would tell me.
So he was like, apparently over there in the car, and he was like, whew, glad I dodged that bullet. Like,
Played it right. Because, my parents were like, oh, you should talk to, her sister, you should talk to her uncle. I was like, they're all going to report back to her. They're all going to tell her.
They're going to be like, they wouldn't necessarily say, like, oh, it's definitely happening, but they would say things that would hint at the fact that it was happening.
No, they just sort of straight up giving it away.
Yeah.
Like at your surprise birthday party that they told you about on the way to the surprise birthday party.
So,
This is the level we're at.
Thanks,
with your
fam.
family.
Thanks, fam bam. Love you.
But yes, so we're driving, and I take her up into the North Georgia mountains near Dahlonega.
Yep.
And we go to a place called North Georgia Zoo.
Yes.
And instantly she feels better. She starts smiling. She's like, oh, we're going to a zoo. That's nice.
Yeah.
But she still doesn't really quite know why we're there.
Yes.
And I show her our little card, our event card.
I know. Okay, I'm asked to fill out a form, and I tell the lady, I'm like, I don't know what we're doing. And she's like, I'll fill that out for you. So, it feels like everybody's in on this surprise except for me.
And so I show her the event card, and it's really smudged, and I'm like, can you read that word?
It says otter.
Otters. We were going to play and swim with her favorite animal, otters. And what was really cute is she did that face and immediately forgot everything she knew about otters.
No, I started crying.
Yeah, I was
we were
like,
sitting there,
and I was like, do you see now why you weren't allowed to wear jewelry? And she was like, why? I was like, because you told me that they steal shiny things. They love shiny objects. And you were just like, do they now? And then you just degenerated. You were like, what's an otter?
You're telling me the otter factoids again.
Yeah, that you told me.
That's so interesting. I love otters.
Like, babe, you alright? Are you okay?
No, I'm not okay. In answer to your question.
So we're going to see the otters, and it's very exclusive. It's only like 6 people and then the trainers.
Yeah.
So they're taking us back there.
And the otter.
Yeah, and the otter. So they're taking us back to the otter cage area, and it's in this whole like restricted part of the park.
Yeah.
And all of the girls are on the verge of tears, and all the guys are like, yeah, they're pretty cute.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay, cool.
No.
But the girls are like, oh, there's an otter. Oh my, just like flipping out. So we get to the cage, and the otters are there.
And they're screaming like so otters are. My factoids have come back to me. Otters are super vocal animals.
They're so vocal. You don't expect
so,
it. You can hear them. They're like, ah, ah.
Yeah.
Ah. That's a pretty good.
Yeah, that was a good otter sound, baby.
That's exactly
I'm really
what they sound like. So we're walking up, and the girls are freaking out. They're hearing the sound. So we go in the cage.
Yeah.
And the story's gonna take forever if we tell every detail. But we're playing with the otters. They sit on our laps. We do some photos. Yeah.
And the cutest thing about them, okay, the thing that converted this man right here into thinking that otters are his favorite animal, the cutest thing about them is they make this little like happy sound when they eat.
Yeah.
And I, too, make a happy sound when I eat. My parents have always called it the happy song because I kind of sing while I eat. And, they made a very similar sound. And Corey's like, you are an otter. But they make this,
so cute
sound. Like, this happy
no,
little,
there's more of an up and down. Like, when you hand them a treat, they go, So we played with the otters, and then we went to a swimming pool area where we got to swim with the otters and race them. And they would fetch seashells. And
coins.
They did all kinds of tricks. Yeah, coins.
Money-saving otters. They had to put in a little bag.
Fiscally responsible otters.
Fiscally responsible otters.
Yeah, they're really good at retrieving and handing off items and stuff. So they're really good at that.
Hands.
Yeah. So she was stoked beyond measure, just like the happiest I've ever seen you.
Yep.
But the day wasn't over there. It got better.
No, okay, so he tells me right at the beginning, after he reveals that we are going to go swim with otters, he does say, we're going to go have a picnic after this.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, cool, because I thought, again, hate surprises, so I thought the surprise was done at this point. I thought this was the big surprise.
Which is exactly what I wanted you to think.
Yeah. So he does tell me, oh, we're going to have a picnic afterwards, and I'm like, all right, loving it. That sounds lovely, let's do it.
Yeah. And I figured telling her about it would lower the suspicion.
And it did.
She's like, oh, okay, he told me we're just going to have a picnic, that's fine.
Yeah.
So I had researched, and there was a hiking trail to a waterfall about 20 minutes away from the zoo. But I had not scoped it out. Dahlonega is about 2 hours away, or maybe just an hour 30 from where we live.
Yeah.
So we got to the hiking trail. Unfortunately, at the very beginning of the trail, there were picnic tables, which is perfect.
Yeah.
So we're spreading out the blanket. I've got my backpack with some dry stuff in it. I've got a huge cooler full of stuff that needed to be refrigerated, like subs and berries.
Yeah.
So I'm kneeling down and I'm trying to distract her. I want her to help me unpack. I'm like, babe, get in on this. Look at all the food I brought. Look at, let's see, what did I bring?
Yeah.
This is going to be fun.
Yeah. And I'm just I had spread the blanket on and I'm like, no, I'm good. You do it.
Yeah, she was sitting up there. She's like, oh, cool. I'm like, babe, look, I brought berries. She's like, sweet, you did bring berries. Awesome.
Good job. I'm proud of you.
What else did you bring? And so I'm unpacking it, and she's just sitting there like a little princess. And I'm unpacking. I get out, all our food. I get out our champagne glasses. And it's at the point where I've gotten out everything, and I'm like, well,
this is it.
Yeah, I just got to do it. So I was like, oh, Anna, there's one more thing. And I pull out the ring box, and I start getting down, and I launch into my speech and tell them what you said.
What are you doing? And it got increasingly more frantic. I was like, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?
It's the last thing you want to hear. It was so discouraging. It's just not an encouraging thing to hear when you're down on your knees and you're about to give a speech and you're like, Anna, since the moment what are you doing? Corey, what are you doing?
So eventually he shushes me. He's like, shh. And then he launches into his little speech again. And then I don't know, I started crying and just sobbing and was just kind of nodding. I don't think I verbalized it because I also think I blacked out halfway through. And so we start hugging and I'm nodding and crying and stuff, and he pulls back and he's like, I blacked out a little bit. Did you say yes?
I was like, can I get a yes?
He's like, can I get a verbal yes?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yes! and like so.
Yeah, and then we were, you know, it was like lightly raining.
Yeah.
And we had our picnic and we had our champagne. So then we toasted.
Yeah.
And we were hugging.
Yeah.
It was just a really.
Yeah.
You just, I don't know, like people get engaged all the time, but when you live through it,
Yeah.
it was just such a huge moment.
Yeah.
That was one of the most emotional moments of my life. Like you just feel like you're on cloud 9. You feel happy. You feel like excited. But you're also kind of stressed because it's a big. You know, it's like coming down from the stress of planning everything and doing that.
I did ask him. I was like, did you think I would say no? And he's like, no, I knew you were going to say yes.
No, that's not what I said.
Yes, you did.
No, here's what I said. Ask me again.
Okay, did you think I was going to say no? Oh, there we go. Sorry, he laughed. I just wanted to ease that out so you guys weren't, you know.
Yeah, I laughed for a good, minute or two.
Yeah.
And then I was like, no, you were going to say yes. It's fine.
Yeah. He's like, so, like, even though he knew for sure I was going to say yes.
It's still nerve-wracking.
It is.
It's still very stressful to get down on a knee and be looking up at someone you love and giving this speech. And honestly, I don't know, I like to think I'm decent under pressure, but halfway through my speech, I felt like I started to just, the adrenaline's so high, like I don't even remember the second half.
Yeah.
I think I like leaned up to kiss you as I was like waiting.
You did.
I think you were gonna.
We kissed.
I thought you were gonna blurt out your answer, so I was like, okay, now she's gonna say yes. I'm gonna kiss her. Oh, she didn't say anything. Like, so then we kissed. I had to pull back,
crying and like kissing you, and like, it was a really beautiful moment. It's just that there was like so much emotion, and we were just like both so emotional and like in that moment, and so like obviously like I was gonna say yes, and so like I don't like
obviously.
So like for me like. The nodding and the crying and the like yes like put the ring on me like let's do this like that was just part and parcel, and so like
so then after that I mentioned it was raining, so we had our umbrellas and we had this little picnic as it was raining, and we're both the weirdos who love rain, so it was really nice because the rain was coming down and we're drinking champagne, we're eating berries.
Also, drink responsibly, kids. Like,
stay safe.
We're over 21, so we could do that.
Exactly. But yeah, so it was amazing. And then we took a little hike down to the waterfall, and we saw that, and it was just a nice, cool day, which is rare in July in Georgia.
Yes. Yeah. But I will say this, okay? They said the waterfall was a mile away. The waterfall was definitely 2 miles away, and I don't want to hear it. Like, it was a whole lot of like.
It was a lot of winding.
Yeah.
It was way further than a mile away.
I was like, sure, maybe a mile if you just like went straight over these cliffs.
We hung out at the waterfall, hiked back up, took a few photos, and called the fam, and now we are telling you.
Yay!
So, welcome to our lives.
Let's do.
I don't know what I want from you, just enjoy it.
Maybe some hearts.
Some hearts, some heart comments.
Maybe some heart comments.
Oh no, now we're so needy.
I know.
Leave us a comment.
Leave us a comment on our love.
So, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon for notifications. And feel free to drop us a comment, say hey, share in this excitement, and we will see you guys next time.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.